go, here we go. Hopefully it'll be a little less laggy today. I think I've got a simpler setup. We are connected though. And yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Kind of long, maybe not the most exciting one. But get out of here. I don't care. There is a special election coming up in Austin. Early voting is starting, I believe, next week for the Austin City Council special election for District 4. It's the old District 4 to replace Greg Casar, who is now running for Congress in the district that I dropped out of. I know I was thinking about running in this race, actually decided not to, but there are actually a lot of candidates. I took a brief look earlier today and I started looking through them. I was like, okay, this is interesting. There's a whole decision process to have here. And that's the only thing on this ballot. And so I want to just take you on my journey of how I go through the ballot and decide, who I want, and we'll take a look through. So I just got to put in my address here. 3, and I'm on vote411.org. It's a great site for this stuff. Choose my language, English, go to my races, and we'll see there's only one race. Austin Council Member District 4 special election, and there are 7 candidates. So we're gonna go through them, and we're gonna see what they have to offer. The only one I knew of beforehand was Jose Chito Vela, who used to work for Greg Casar and was kind of slated to win, but I don't know that he's going to be the one we're going for. So we're going to take a look through and see what we can find. So we'll start with Amanda Rios. Okay, Amanda, biographical information, amanda4austin.com. Fight for Austin. Why do you use cookies for a city council run site? So early voting, starts on Monday, January 10th, goes to the 21st, and then that's a Friday, and then Tuesday, January 25th is election day. Wife, mom, neighbor, lived in Austin for 30 years, East Austin for 13 of that. Always served diverse communities ranging from working with refugees in Houston to Title I schools in Austin as a bilingual teacher. Look forward to serving you as the City Council rep. Platform, first one, comprehensive public safety, and providing world-class police, firefighter, and first responder services. Residents shouldn't worry if they are in an emergency that help might or might not come. That's relevant because the police are understaffed right now, which is quite interesting turn of events. And so they've had to move some things to non-emergency services, and that's just been interesting to see. But this is why she says comprehensive public safety. It's more than just police and firefighters. First responder services is more general. There are other types of first responder services, and homeless camping. So let's see what she says. Let's get people the services and help they need. It is not acceptable for our city to allow people to camp in unsafe manners. I will work and continue to seek out solutions by looking at successful models. That's a little soft. I'm not really a fan of that. She's making it about the camping and not about the people. You need to house people. Affordability, as a working class family, she should have a comma there. Affordability impacts my family as it does yours. I will seek out concrete options in order to address affordability in Austin, including streamlining permits. I don't think that's the main thing, but our quality, probably more like zoning. Our quality of life depends on the council being proactive and including our residents in the process. Okay. Youth. Build more opportunities for the citizens of Austin, especially our youth. No period, and... Okay. Do you want to give, like, an example? Maybe? Music. Having lived here for 30 years, I miss the days when Austin was the live music capital of the world. Music is such an integral part of who we are in Austin. I want to get music back to Austin. How? Get involved. Let's see what else you got on your site. Anything? Blog? Voting, sites, locations. That's it. More about me. Okay. So not her. I think she'll be easy to beat. I'm not even gonna bother looking at the other stuff she filled out. Like you gotta. Okay. See Isa run. Can't open the page. Oh, I see why. That's not her fault. It was she put 2 websites and Vote 411 didn't know how to parse it. What is it? Was it .com? Here, let's look. See isarun.org. Interesting. Organization. It's also a cheaper domain, but not by much. Oh, I messed up. Not Korg, org. Oh my gosh, just go to the site. My goodness. I don't care about the SEO. Oh boy. Okay. Let's look at her Facebook page. This was 1 hour ago she posted. Born in Silver Springs. I'm not talking to her. Raised in Thailand, India, Canada, Philippines, Japan. Found a home in Austin in 2003. Asian American, non-binary artist. Create artworks that reflect and represent iterations of their nomadic life that formulate the Asiatic futurist identity. Interesting. Earned a bachelor. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where was I? Bachelor of Fine Arts, Nova Scotia College of Art and Design in Canada, and a Master of Fine Arts at School of Art Institute in Chicago in 2019. Also studied at University of Maryland, Austin Community College, St. Edward's University, earning Texas teaching certification for all levels, art and special education. Ooh, that's cool. Secondary English language arts. Awesome. 18 plus years classroom teaching experience. Presently, Bunto is an art teacher with the Austin Independent AISD and the Navarro Early College High School in North Austin. Full-time, part-time at a local restaurant as a prep cook, regularly seeks out work as part of the gig economy to support their family as a single parent. Ooh. On their free time, they served as a voting member of the Campus Advisory Council and are serving on the District Advisory Council for AISD, led the North Austin Civic Association as vice president and co-president, and are part of NECA Contact Planning Team. Co-founded North Austin Parent Advocacy Group, which helped form African American Dual Language Committee for AISD. Oh. Currently support Austin Mutual Aid as a moderator and crisis support, and are looking into supporting the Thai Association of Central Texas. Bunto resides in North Austin with 2 children, ages 15 and 8, 2 dogs, 5 and 2. Interesting. Oh, and they're doing a Meet the Candidates next week. Looks like I'm interested in that. Looks like, oh yeah, there's some things going on here. An hour ago, this like posted a bunch of stuff. Oh, there was a complex fire today? Oh my gosh. I missed that. Yeah, I was busy doing stuff all day. I like just got home. Yep, we're in stage 5. That happened. Yeah. Vela has a lot of fundraising. Again, that's what happens when you're like basically put next in line by the incumbent. Oh man, she tested positive for COVID this week. That's unfortunate. Okay, but I need to know more. Do you have Okay, you're a cool person, but you don't have a working website. I can't see your policy stances. What do you say? Anything that's different from what I just read. Seeking community input to inform decision making is crucial. Work resource platform for discussion or feedback can be made public. It is of importance that we are all informed, follow guidance from Austin Public Health, CDC, and our medical and scientific community. She probably wrote this before the CDC really screwed up recently. Our community needs timely information, equitable access to resources to mitigate any public health challenges. Austin City Council has and needs to continue to support our community, especially communities of color who are negatively affected most. Recent engagement with the APD via a groundwater analysis of racial inequities deepens my understanding of priorities for public safety and policing, both community members and from both community members and APD's perspective, to keep communications open, build trust, and reimagine ways together to shift culture policing and how public safety can truly keep us safe. Cool. So I'm kind of into that, but like I also want you to mention the part where like we need emergency mental health response, which is something we don't have here, and that like I think we're starting to build, but we really need something. Okay, other priorities. Critical issue is affordability. Community members are faced with ever-increasing trade-offs to remain in their neighborhoods. It'd be crucial to keep a close eye in District 4's land use and rezoning policies. The outdated zoning policies do not account for our land use, environmental, developmental needs of our community in 21st century Austin. So, kinda. I'm kinda okay with it. Let's see who. Ramses. I'm gonna say Ramses. Rideshare driver, massage therapist. Interesting. Let's check out your Facebook page. Okay, looks like they're sharing memes. Built by the Romans 2,000 years ago. I mean, built last week by the council. It's funny, but that's also survivor bias. A lot of stuff built by the Romans is not around any longer. Yeah, I've made like the same meme before. My bank account, December 22nd. My goodness. Me living my best life. Interesting. Okay. Got rabbits in your apartments for 2 months now. This is back in October. I wouldn't trust them with your dog or your property. Attention. Okay. Do you want to like... You're a working class person working to represent the working class people of District 4, despite the fact that we have, over 3,000 homeless in Austin right now. I'm a gay socialist, so you better work. Work, bitch. Self-funded allows me to judge fear from anyone. Strategies would include keeping communication open to the public, making information more accessible, and airing city's dirty laundry. Sounds like, okay, my role would be augmenting health experts' advice. The problem is people expect politicians to have the lifetime experience in multiple professions, which explains why allegedly some people in office allude to taking horse dewormer to fight COVID, and certain people are actually buying it, also encouraging the public to do their civic duty in providing the public with accurate information. Addressing mental health, intergenerational trauma, lack of social capital, lack of social mobility, lack of affordable housing, lack of affordable healthcare, lack of living wage jobs. Don't need jobs, we just need UBI. The mayor is working on a basic income trial, so maybe you should mention that. Lack of affordable higher education, lack of infrastructure. The child who isn't embraced by the warmth of the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. Let's try a bottom-up approach. Okay, but you haven't actually given me anything. You've just threw a bunch of words at me. Slumlords in District 4 are your other priority. For the past 5 months, I've had rats in my apartment. Terror complex also lost hot water for over a month. This year, I'd make the city crack down on these slumlords and ignominiously put them on blast. Portion of response removed does not meet criteria. Okay, again, you don't actually know how to do things. You don't understand what the position is. Melinda4Austin.com. Let's see what you got. Hey, a real website. Purchasing her first home in 2011. Now running for District 4. Increases affordable housing supply without the displacement of residents or the added expense to taxpayers. Moved to Austin in 2005. Purchased her first home in 2011. Vice President, President of North Austin Civic Association. Leading communication, beautification, and safety efforts for the past decade plus. Freelance marketing data analyst under her business Belt Out Loud Marketing, where her focus is to recommend and execute data-driven business and marketing decisions. She's also the mother of 2 precious children and cares deeply about ensuring that Austin supports every child's ability to thrive. advocated for safer housing for Austin and repeat offender. Oh, these are projects. That like this is like a resume. Oh, okay. Let's check it out. Advocated for safer housing for Austin and repeat offender program. Look, this looks clickable, but it's not clickable. Collaborated with APD and neighbors to address public safety issues. Heron Hollow Park. I don't recall that one. Negotiated increased housing density zoning for North Lamar and decreased zoning for Runberg Lane. Interesting. Okay. Advocated for a rail that would serve District 4, the most dense neighborhood district in Austin. Organized Keep Austin Beautiful, It's My Park Day, and grant-funded beautification projects. Implemented online communication platforms for community education and support. Interesting. Future. Affordable housing. Evaluate opportunities to increase affordable housing District 4. Project Connect and Orange Line must serve the needs of District 4. Yes, that's a local thing that's like, or no, Project Connect is got the thumbs up. Public safety, work with APD to understand and address public safety issues. Emergency management, follow through on winter storm recommendations and communication needs. Yes. District 4 communication. Multilingual platform for community education and support. Yes. Fantastic. That is lacking for sure. Language justice is certainly an issue in Austin. Apartment coalition, increased communication, provide more community support to renters. I think I saw something about this. Apartment coalition. I'm into that. Prop B, homeless, support the implementation of Prop B in a humane manner. I like that last line there. Infrastructure needs. Survey all District 4 residents to understand local infrastructure and education needs. Doing a survey. Yes. Into it. Abandoned vehicles. Inventory all abandoned vehicles in District 4 and improve process for removal. There are 2 abandoned vehicles in my parking lot. I park next to one every day, and the other one is right across from me. And yep, and that is a small parking lot. Pledges to give 10% of her council income to effective nonprofits or schools for District 4 efforts. That's cool. Oh, that's brilliant. I was thinking, man, I thought a lot about like, man, what would I give all my money to when I'm in Congress? But like actually pledging it ahead of time, oh, that's brilliant. Oh, I should totally, I'm copying that the next time I run for office. Cool. All right. Is it just, yeah, it just scrolls down. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep Melinda's website open. Let's see what you got here. Past decade plus working collaboratively with the community and APD, growing communication platforms. Okay, this is just copied from her site, basically. My communication priorities include surveying District 4 on infrastructure needs. This one's interesting. Creating an apartment coalition for more education and rental support. One already exists, some part of it, Basta, but like, it's not enough. And to have a city council member fighting for it would make a big difference. And creating an open source multilingual platform for community education and support. Grassroots communication should also be supported, such as outreach in our community spaces. 19 other public health challenges. I studied biology at Indiana University and will always support the implementation of expert guidance, helping constituents protect themselves against COVID-19. I support housing first homeless initiatives, environmental sustainability initiatives, increasing solar energy use, and access to health resources, including mental, food, water, and utility. Ooh, that's sexy. I like that. All right, my priority for public safety and policing is filling the current 400 officer backlog. I support incentivizing the retention of APD officers and elements of proactive policing in the community due to the absurd amount of property crime. I'll also ensure that Project Connect plans and supportive infrastructure are implemented with a public safety and walkability mindset. Yes. What other questions? Hey TC, I don't know what took you so long, but glad to have you here. Yeah, I'm going through. There's a special election to replace my city councilor who's running in the district that I dropped out from, and so there's 7 people running, and I'm going through all of them. And I think I've come across the first one I actually like. So very local issue. But what other critical issues do you think are important to your community? How would you address them? Affordable housing. District 4 should be a leader on increasing density. And show that the most dense neighborhood district is willing to add density in affordable housing. I will rezone rail transit corridors to a mixed-use zoning with an affordability requirement and will ensure that redevelopment occurs in a cohesive manner that encourages walkability and connectivity. Yes! Oh, she gets it. Oh, I love her. Melinda's great. Okay, Melinda's great. Let's see if Jade or Monica or Cheeto can beat her. Women who work twerk. Jade for Austin. Stay tuned for more updates. Community life. None of these are clickable. Our community voices matter and deserve to not only be heard but truly considered. Its time decisions are people guided, not dollar driven. Yeah, I guess. Do you have anything else? Meet Jade. Let's see what they got. Born and raised Austinite Unicorn. She attended Lanier High School, Dobby Middle School, Walnut Creek Elementary, went to Texas State University. Now, as a single mom, ranked choice voting. No, ranked choice voting is not legal in Texas. It was a lot of nonsense. We really should have gone for approval voting or star voting, which actually has some degree of legal viability. Yeah, it was really stupid of them to do that. We even bugged them about it. I sent a message to Austinites for Progressive Reform. I was like, hey, y'all know that this isn't gonna work, right? And they're like, oh yeah, we know, but we're doing it anyway. Ranked choice voting isn't even good anyway. Like, it's not a good voting method. Like, in each distinct instant runoff round, you can only support one candidate at a time, just like in our current choose one voting method. So you have the same vote splitting problem. Yeah, New York City, you remember you had decentralized tabulation to a single point of failure, and that happened to be a board of elections with a history of failure, who then added a whole bunch of test ballots in with the actual ballots. I mean, it was a disaster. Yeah, your ranked choice voting election went very poorly, in my opinion. It didn't solve any of the problems. It was still there was still a ton of vitriol in that election. Andrew Yang was the only one who, and Paperboy Love Prince were the only ones who were like nice, and that's just because that's who they are. So yeah, it's not even a good method, and I don't fight for it. And I'm probably gonna get star voting in Austin here at some point. Anyway, all right. After 12 years, which included rising to a regional manager role, obtaining professional certifications, participating in industry associations, joining the Austin Apartment Association Board, that's cool, and completing leadership programs like the Lyceum Leadership Program, she left the industry and went on to help build a nonprofit. She's currently the Chief Strategy Officer of Women Who Work, an organization that provides tools and resources for women to succeed on their own terms with a focus on women of color and providing access to those of lower socioeconomic experiences. Okay, you say, yeah, those were my two favorites. Yang and Paperboy Love Prince. Yeah, his Paperboy Love Prince's campaign manager just messaged me right before I started this stream, so I told him I'd get back to him after this. But he was like, yeah, I'm a big fan. I was like, I didn't know I had fans, but all right. So yeah, we're going to talk about something. I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about something. So I'm going through these candidates. Okay, Jade was pulled into politics in 21 when developers applied to dramatically upzone her neighborhood. Yep. Spent the last 9 months working with the city and developers to come up with a solution in line with the neighborhood's character, residents, and needs. It's not been easy. The city and unfortunately your own council member have not made it easy. She navigated a system designed to reject public input where established written city policies and procedures deliberately overlooked and overridden. These obstacles, combined with working with neighbors fearful of retaliation or struggling with language barriers, led her to a troubling question. How does the average citizen have a voice in the process? Well, we could have sortition, or we could have, approval voting or star voting. This process also led her to a realization. Our city has become transactional and the system is broken. Yep. It's more interested in doing deals than actually serving residents or solving problems. Oh, yeah. He's, I think, like Prometheus on Discord. You met his campaign manager. Yeah. Like in real life. Yeah. No, I'm down in Austin, but yeah, I can't. He's 14 years old. Oh, damn. That's crazy. I hope... Paperboy paid him. I know Paperboy wouldn't take his labor for free. But that's super cool. That's exciting. Jade has a different approach. Listen and amplify the community's voice to generate decisions and outcomes that incorporate community input. She appreciates that this approach can potentially impact all of Austin through listening to the input and guidance from residents in all districts. Like the all districts thing. Do you have like a system for this? So you haven't described an actual system or process. You understand the system is broken, but you're not proposing any fixes. You're just saying, this is what you promised to do. I want like actual solutions. Understands the social, ethnic, and economic diversity that make up District 4. Fathers from Venezuela, mother Missouri. But that diversity isn't often represented at City Hall, neither overtly or through opinions, backgrounds, experience, and skills. Yeah, that's true. Our voting's broken. This lack of diversity has led to the district being underserved and underrepresented. Jade learned this firsthand. Unless you're a developer or aspiring politician, the wheels of government at City Hall are not inclusive and move at a glacial pace. Yeah, I mean, Austin does better than a lot of places, but it could still do better than what it is. We can change that by electing a lifelong Austinite who's actually invested in District 4's future. We can elect someone with business and management experience who understands how to balance a budget, work with multiple stakeholders, pay attention to detail, big picture focus, solve problems, skills sorely lacking in our current council, and by electing someone who's already proven himself to be a thoughtful, passionate, determined advocate for both this and the next generation of district residents, we can change the trajectory at City Hall. Austin aspires to be a city after all. Electing Jade, a huge step toward this ideal. Where is your priorities? Let's look at this. Austin is a city for all. As we continue to attract and welcome newcomers, we must be sure not to lose the original community spirit. That is, we're in a different place already. Spending that affect the lives of all Austin residents in the short and long term must be centered by the community's voice priorities, not those of special interests. In order to truly achieve this, community education support and engagement of vital human capital, untapped or non-existent community planning and engagement can decisions on key issues not be made without residents involved. But are you going to do surveys? Going to knock doors? Going to just call people? Going to hold more town halls? What's your actual plan here? You're going to for full piece of the attention of financial pie, community space and park investment and additions. The city considers park deficient. Oh yeah, District 4 is park deficient. Yep, that's true. They've fallen short of our parkland accessibility goals. 4 has experienced the worst crime on average in the city in the last 5 years. We have the most robberies in the city, led the city in murders for 4 of the last 5 years, yet virtually no one speaks of crime or has taken material steps to address this. Police reform and violence prevention are priorities. We cannot continue to ignore the need for improved public safety measures in District 4. But what are they? Tell me. Improved infrastructure, including roads, sidewalks, bike routes. We want to ensure the next time there's a mobility bond or similar initiatives that District 4 infrastructure is part of the solution, and that's true. We also need to understand specifically how Project Connect will affect District 4 and how it will improve mobility and congestion. Information that is yet to be shared or fully explained. Such an enormous project requires equally robust planning, transparency, and oversight, especially after our experience with Cat Metro and Red Line over the last 20 plus years. Yeah, that's true. Homelessness and mental. All right, let's see what you got here. This one I'm interested in. City strategy for people experiencing homelessness has been haphazard at best and non-existent at worst. Yeah, repealing the camping ban without having a plan in place was a colossal blunder. That's a good point. And it's unclear that the city is the best agent to house and serve thousands of homeless when they have virtually no experience in this space. We can do better. There are opportunities to partner with countless organizations who have the experience and wherewithal to serve our homeless neighbors who suffer from comorbidities, as other municipalities have successfully done, and without further burdening residents with incredibly expensive programs. This is actually super true. Municipalities forming partnerships with organizations is an incredibly important part of addressing homelessness. It's an actual thing that works. And I agree that actually makes a lot more sense for Austin. It's not, the city has proven that it doesn't know what the hell it's doing. And so I'm super into this. This makes a lot of sense. She understands that. Affordability is a consistent top issue. Tangible solutions rather than perceived needs. Too often I watch throw money at the problem without undertaking an inclusive, responsible approach that seeks to understand the problem and use all the tools in community capital responsible to solve it. Not only is this ineffective as policy, but increases the cost of living to every single person. Austin, land use and frivolous changes to the land code must be vetted through checks and balances and reviewed based on long-term impacts and reproductions, not solely short-term gains. We are suffering as a community due to an artificial housing crisis, which is a fundamental piece of the affordability crisis. Yeah, that's true. The city could do something about that. As someone with experience in this space, I'm astonished with the degree of misrepresentation involved in our housing conversation. Simply building more housing stock will primarily produce more luxury housing targeted at future, predominantly privileged class residents, little regard to those already here. After all, we approve an unprecedented number of units over the last 5 years, yet Austin still dropped 5 ranks in U.S. News and World Report this year specifically because of our unaffordability. We desperately need a more candid and inclusive approach to land use. I intend to work with our community leaders and fight for that. Ultimately, I'm committed to ensuring that our children and the generations to follow are able to afford to live here instead of being forced to move out as they begin their adult lives. All right, I kind of like her. I'm not. Let's see what her responses to 411 were. Business management, operations, budgeting, public service, housing experience, identifying risk risk and benefits, rational, considered, and common sense, fact-focused leader. I mean, that's just nonsense words. Lifelong D4, District 4 resident, community builder, amplify community's voice, operational systematic changes in city operations for transparency, inter-office communication, create a resident communications and advocacy department. Oh, here we go. Establish staff communication info packet for each agenda item, civic engagement training, initiatives to encourage and actively seek community input, ensure my staff values public service and provides good constituent services. It's our role as a city to provide public education, awareness, and information from CDC. Everyone must do their part. Proper hygiene, cleanliness, social distancing, masking when needed to minimize spread. Public information, trust that everyone is able to make the best decision for them and their families. Information is certainly a piece of this puzzle. Work with neighborhoods and rebuild the trust and connection between police, public servants, and residents. Support with police reform and adjustments to police contract for accountability and efficiency. Partner with organizations that have the experience, people, and care to provide appropriate services tailored to address the root causes of homelessness, including mental health and substance abuse. Housing, affordability, and land use. Smart review of development based on long-term impacts, not solely short-term gains. We already read all this. Okay, she's all right. I like her, but I still think I'm gonna go with Melinda over her. Monica Ford 4. People before politics. Indoors. Guzman has spent more than a decade as a hardworking everyday advocate for the people in District 4 who will need one on council even more than they do now, and her skills and track record are sufficient by the Austin Chronicle today, actually. About St. Edwards, native Austinite, Lady of the Lake, sorry. 2010, March for Workers' Rights. 2017, City's Equity Action Team. Go Austin, Vamos Austin. Assisted with the expansion in North Austin as North Austin Community Developer, is now a policy director. Gava is pretty cool. Restore Runberg Revitalization Team and currently serves on the Reimagining Public Safety Task Force. Caritas of Austin Board of Directors. Oh, and enjoys researching her family history. As your council member, I will fight for comprehensive social justice reform, early childhood programming, libraries, EMS, CHPs, and AFD, social services, public health, park programming for all ages and whole families, neighborhood stability, traffic and mobility, anti-displacement, right to stay, right to return, economic opportunities, equitable land use, homeowners' right to protest, tenant protection, anti-gentrification. You're just kind of like saying what the issues are. You're not really. Disaster preparedness and response resilience hubs and neighborhood centers, community response teams, increased urban canopy, flood mitigation. A little bland. It's like there's not enough there. You're not giving me enough info. All right, Cheeto, let's see what you got here. Cheeto Vela. Public supporters, yeah, I know you got a lot. Father of 3 works every day with people who are struggling, blah, blah, blah. I understand the need to lower the cost of housing and invest in infrastructure, schools, reliable energy, public safety that's effective and accountable. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to earn your vote. Immigration and criminal defense attorney, workers defense project, board chair, fair wages and safe working conditions for construction and farm workers. That's cool. Greg Casar's appointee to the commission, the City of Austin Planning Commission. Cheeto fought for more housing for working and middle class families. Okay, but we have over 3,000 homeless in Austin. Working and middle class families, like, what about lower class family? Like, what about all the people who are not, like, that attitude is, like, drop your Democrat talking points. Austin must be a welcoming city for low and middle families. Unfortunately, many of our working class neighbors are getting priced out of their homes. Even middle class people are struggling to buy a home in Austin. This trend cannot continue. Must establish reasonably priced housing options for middle and low-income residents with a focus on different types of homes that are less expensive than your classic home with a large yard. Townhomes, row houses, duplexes, fourplexes, and condominiums provide more flexible and less expensive housing options, especially for first-time home buyers. What about apartments? Maybe? Austin's beautiful parks, creeks, and natural areas are an important part of our identity. Generations of Austinites have fought to preserve Barton Springs and the Edwards Aquifer, and our generation must build on those accomplishments City must continue adding parks and green space, especially in District 4 neighborhoods that lack these amenities. We must continue to clean our creeks and rivers so we can use them as the beautiful resource they are. We received a huge wake-up call. Big freeze, temperatures plummeted, infrastructure failed, hundreds died. It's time to do our part to protect ourselves from the ravages of global warming. We must improve our city's emergency response systems, and the Fayette coal power plant that Austin Energy owns must be shut down if we want to slow climate change. I'm into that. 2021 has been the deadliest year ever on Austin roadways. Safer streets and roads, how the passage and funding of the light rail proposition creates a huge opportunity for Austin to modernize its transportation system. We should take this chance to create corridors throughout our city that emphasize walking, biking, public transportation. Okay, cool. Electric bikes make biking much easier and allow a broader group of people to use bikes for transportation. We must continue to invest in our bike lanes and sidewalks to allow for less polluting, healthier modes of transportation. Public safety has support Austin's criminal justice reform efforts, such as the decriminalization of marijuana. Oh, nobody else has mentioned that. Initiatives to improve police accountability. You need more than that. In the addition of mental health as an option when calling 911, yes. Effective and accountable public safety are a priority. We must provide robust public safety services that are available to respond to the wide range of emergencies that our residents encounter. Our police should focus on violent and dangerous crimes. We should use other public resources first when responding to homelessness, drug abuse, and people in mental health crisis. We also, a lot of times people in mental health crisis will appear as violent or dangerous when to the people who are calling. So it's really important for 911 operators to be able to recognize that difference over the phone, which is not easy. Austin's open and vibrant culture is known all around the world. Oh, and the police need to know it too. Austin FC is our new soccer club, new soccer stadium. We're welcoming to our city. We must support our local musicians, artists, venues, and festivals. Additionally, our neighborhood libraries, parks, and pools must be well funded and accessible to provide equitable recreational opportunities for everybody. You got any other pages? It just scrolls down. Yeah, that's not bad. You mentioned a couple things that others didn't, like the marijuana, and some of the other recreational stuff. But it still just wasn't. I really liked how Melinda was rezone rail transit corridors to a mixed-use zoning with an affordability requirement, and ensure that redevelopment occurs in a cohesive manner that encourages walkability and connectivity. That's fantastic. Oh my god, that's a specific hey, this is the thing. These are the specific things. I think I'm gonna go for Melinda. It's between Melinda and Cheeto, but probably Melinda. Greg Casar, Planning Commissioner, Board Project, Board President, Workers Defense Project, President Blanton Elementary, Teachers, Parents Teacher Association. People informed City Hall developments via social media and email will personally appear at neighborhood forums, meetings, and other events to answer questions and talk to the public. I also support the continued use of video, phone, public testimony implemented during COVID. This type of public testimony is popular and brings a wider array of voices into City Hall discussion. Good public health, blah blah blah. Universal healthcare coverage. Yeah, okay. Support sensible and equitable. MAP is a thing that exists. I know that's a county thing, but you can still talk about it. Support sensible and equitable criminal justice reform. Police should focus on violent, dangerous crime, homelessness, drug, and yeah. I kind of like his thing. Oh, he's a little bit better on this public safety. But okay. Now let's read this last one, because I saw this one earlier and I think this is what turned me off. With the median home price over $500,000, Austin is facing a housing crisis that's displacing too many residents. We must be a welcoming place for working class people. Working class people? We have over 3,000 homeless. We need to build more diverse housing that working and middle class people can afford. It's what is this language? Such as duplexes, townhomes, and ADUs. Smaller homes on smaller lots can also make single-family homes more affordable for working families. Why are we this obsession with single family homes? It's a city. If you want a single family home, go live in. Oh my gosh. We need mixed use zoning. That's what I want. I want to be able to walk to go get things instead of driving. I live in Texas. It's Austin. The weather's great 10 months out of the year. I want to enjoy it. Give me a reason to go outside, not sit behind a bunch of exhaust. Like, it's this kind of talk right here. We need to build more diverse housing that working and middle class people can afford, such as duplexes, townhomes, and ADUs. Like, this turns me off from somebody. This is smaller homes on smaller lots can also make single family homes more affordable for working families. Like this kind of talk is just like, it's just like you're just disconnected. You're just talking, you're not talking to people. You're not even talking to people like me, dude. And I've been renting this apartment for 2.5 years. And I mean, like, yeah, Melinda. I'm probably going to vote for Melinda. Okay, well, that was the whole stream, actually. Yeah. I mean, and like her thing with public safety is like, look, I have my opinion, but like, it is a very divisive issue here, like how to move forward with police. And, or somewhat divisive, and like, she's trying to address it in a way that like, kind of appeases everybody, and I do like that attitude generally. Yeah. Don't ask for first name, last name. I hate that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yep. Melinda. I'm gonna vote for Melinda. So that's my choice. You don't have to. You know. But did she have the voting dates? Well, early voting starts on Monday. I don't necessarily know that I'm going to go on Monday, but probably going to go vote next week sometime. Yeah. Sweet. All right. Well, that was all. Thank y'all for coming. And next week, oh, I got something. I'm gonna have a guest on next week. It's gonna be super cool. I'm super excited about it. This is something I've been trying to find somebody to come on and talk about this for nearly a year, and I finally found somebody, and I'm super excited. Next week's stream is gonna be awesome. I'm pumped. I'm super pumped. So definitely come back next week. Hit follow, subscribe, like, whatever. Same channel, same time, 6 p.m. Central on Friday next week. Super, super excited about it. All right.